So welcome to day 7 of the challenge, and today we're going to continue to work with the exhalation. So just reminding you, we're looking to get that exhale nice and long if we can. If you haven't managed to do the Ujjayi breath video from day 3, if you have a moment, I recommend to go back and do that. It's like a secret yogi breath that doesn't get taught very much in yoga classes, but can make a real big difference to how you feel when you do your yoga. It can deepen your yoga practice, but also as well, it gives you, there's like a shift in how you feel. So how I describe it is there's a shift from your sort of flight and fight kind of being, and so I think most of us are in that most of the time, to more like a rest and digest kind of being. So there's a subtle shift in your being and how you feel, and it can just really calm and soothe. So that's something that I would highly recommend, and then ideally we would use that for the whole of the yoga practice every time. But if you've not got to that point yet, then just try to make the exhale nice and long, and you can blow out using a straw breath, imagining that you're using a straw to drink, but you're just going to purse your lips and blow out through that straw. And hopefully by doing that, you can just really make it nice and long. It's just about slowing the exhale down really, and just trying to make it as long as you can. And that will help as well with the practice. So yeah, we've got a few different postures today, like the sitting twist and the plank. So if you feel like it's a bit early in the morning, or you just you're not in a place to do that today, then you can just drop that bit, and I'll cue you when we do it, like an alternative for you to do, so you can still do some movement while we're doing the plank. Okay, so today we're going to come to standing, if you can, on your mat. So just have the feet hip width apart, eyes closed, your chin is tucked in and your shoulders relaxed, hands by your side, and just take a moment to check in with yourself, how you're feeling. Notice any tension in the body. Just by bringing awareness to those little areas, sometimes we can just let go. And just noticing your breath. So it's just giving us a moment to really land on our yoga mat before we start any movement. And then when you're ready, just blink the eyes open. So we're going to take, just to get warmed up, we're going to take our arms overhead. So we do that on an inhale, and then we drop our arms on an exhale. We're going to do 3 rounds in time with breath, hopefully breath linked to movement. Okay? So when you're ready, we're going to inhale, sweep the arms, side sweep the arms overhead. And then exhale to lower. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale to lower. One more round. Exhale to lower. Good. So we're going to do a standing forward bend. So if you're literally just woken up, you might be a bit stiff. So the option here is to, when you do your forward bend, if you're feeling a bit stiff, you can start with hands on your hips. You take a nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, you're just going to go into your forward bend really slowly, just supporting your back by having your hands on your legs, taking that as far as you can go. If you're here, that's fine. Have a nice bend in the legs as well, which will hopefully, allow the back to move a bit more. And then you're going to tuck your head in at the end. And then you inhale to come all the way up. Okay? If you've been moving around for a couple of hours or an hour or so, you might want to take your arms over your head And then as we come forward, we're going to exhale, just place them on the sacrum. So you choose what is going to be suitable for you this morning. And then we're going to go into our forward bend. Okay, so I think I'm going to do half and half actually. So we'll do 4 breaths, 4 rounds of standing forward bend. So when you're ready, if you're doing the hands on hip version, you're going to stand, you're going to inhale. And then as we exhale, we'll start to come forward, sweeping the arms, hands down the front of the legs, keeping that chin tucked in if you can, having the legs nice and bent, and then tucking the head at the end. Inhale to come all the way up. So 3 more rounds, just work in your own time. If you're sweeping arms overhead, you're going to inhale to sweep the arms overhead. And then exhale, bend forward, sweep the arms behind, placing hands on the sacrum, coming forward, bending those knees and tucking the head in at the end. Inhale to come up, push through the feet, straight back if you can, or best you can, sweep arms overhead, all the way up, and then you exhale to lower the arms. Okay, so 2 more rounds in your own time. Inhale, sweep arms, exhale, fold forward. So we always fold forward on an exhale. If you get confused, it aids the exhalation because it's almost like we can use the tops of the legs or whatever to push the air out of the body. So as long as you're exhaling on an forward bending on an exhale, you're doing great. Then we inhale to come up. It's almost like that breath, that filling of the torso can lift us up. Imagine like a hot air balloon floating up. We're just kind of coming up to standing. Okay, good. So we're going to come into a wide leg stance now. So this one is a bit more tricky, so see how you go. If it doesn't feel right this morning, I'll show you the posture, and then if it doesn't feel right, I'll give you a variation. So we're linking a forward bend with a side twist. So we start, I'll show you first, and then you can decide if you want to do it. So you do a forward bend, you come up, and then you come into a side bend. Come back up, forward bend, up, and then you side bend to the other side. Okay, and then obviously I'll tell you the breath as we go. And we're going to do that 4 times on each side. If you feel like you don't want to twist, maybe it's too much this morning, because it's generally the twisting that's more strenuous for the back, you can just take your, actually if you do it like this, you can just take your forward bends instead. Just take a couple, maybe 4 or 5, sweeping the arms overhead, placing them on the sacrum, okay? So you choose, but I'm going to walk through the option of the twist. So just be mindful of how you're feeling. Okay, so when we're ready, we're going to inhale, take the arms up to actually all the way overhead, all the way overhead, and then we're going to exhale. I'm going to sweep my arms behind me this morning, coming into that forward bend. Then we're going to inhale to come all the way up, but this time the arms come just to shoulder height. And then as we exhale, we're going to move on the diagonal, being mindful of our backs, taking the opposite hand to opposite leg or foot. And as you come into that twist, you might just take the top shoulder and rotate it back slightly, looking up to the ceiling if you can, if your neck is okay. If not, you'll just keep the head where it is. You'll inhale to come back to center. This time we'll take the arms all the way overhead. And then we're going to forward fold. Sweeping the arms behind as we come down. Inhale back to center, sweeping arms all the way overhead. My mistake, shoulder height. But just adjusting that. And then coming into your side bend. Inhale, centre, arms overhead. Forward fold. My arms are everywhere this morning. Inhale, keep the arms to shoulder height, and then you'll exhale into your side twist. So working on that diagonal, thinking about that top shoulder, moving back, looking up if you can. And you don't have to even come down very far. Take the arms all the way overhead, forward fold. And as we're doing this, you might start to feel your back is loosening up a bit. Or maybe not. Just see how you feel. And work within your parameters, being kind to yourself and your body. It's very early, so you've not got your full capacity of movement just yet. This is going to be the last forward bend. Exhaling. Inhale. Take the arms to the sides. And then exhale into that final standing twist. Yes. And then we're going to exhale to lower the arms and just gently heel toe the feet together. Good. Well, hopefully you're all okay, and if you're not, then you'll let me know. So when you're ready, you're going to come down to a kneeling position on your mat. So I'd say actually come, so you're going to be sort of roughly in the centre of the mat, kneeling. And then we're going to take our cat-cow. So you're going to place your hands on the floor, the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. So it's that tabletop position. And then as we inhale, we're going to lift through the chest. Heart shines towards the wall in front of you. As we exhale, remembering to draw up through the pelvic floor, tummy muscles, and then we're going to tuck the tail, and we're going to take it all the way back. Actually, no, we're going to go halfway towards the heels. And then we're going to inhale into our up cat. Okay, so that's the movement. We're going to do that a few times. And then I'm going to cue you after probably about 3 rounds. We'll inhale, and then I'm going to cue you to go into your downward facing dog on the exhale. So we just simply lift up, and to come out, your inhale to drop your knees back down, come back up into your up cat. Yeah? So you can choose whether you want to add on or if you just want to carry on doing the cat-cow. See how you feel? And then if you decide that, yeah, I can do that today, that's all right. We're going to do that a few times, and then you're going to add on again, and you're going to step back slightly from here, and you're going to come into a plank. So up to you if you want to do that. If you just want to, come to this point, that's totally fine. So it's just to give everybody different options. Okay, so just wanted to do a quick demo. So we're going to start. So you're in your tabletop. You're going to take a nice big inhale. You're going to lift the chest, showing the heart to the wall. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, take the hips halfway towards the heels, tuck the head as well. So nice stretch in the spine, hopefully, in the back. And then you're going to inhale, come back up into your up cat. So bringing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, pull the tummy muscles in, tuck the tailbone, tuck the head, hips moving towards the heels. One more round. Inhale, shoulder blades together, dropping that, making that back a little bit hollow. And then exhale. So we're just moving it back in the opposite direction now. Tucking the hips, moving them towards the heels, tucking the head. And then we're going to go into the up cat. So this is the moment now that we're going to move into downward dog if you want to. If not, you're just going to carry on doing what we've just been doing. For up dog, you're going to tuck your toes, and then you're going to exhale and just push back. Keep a nice soft, a bend in the leg, nice soft legs. And just think about pushing through the arms to stretch the back out if you can. Inhale, dropping the knees. back into that up cat position, shoulder blades together, and then exhaling, taking your hips towards your heels, dropping the head. Inhale, up cat. Exhale, tuck the toes, back into downward facing dog if that's what you're doing. Really pushing through the hands, keeping a nice bend in the legs. Inhale, dropping the knees back to the mat. So you could just probably be working with your own breath now, you know what to do. Last downward facing dog. And then the next round we're going to add on with the plank if you want to. And go up cat, shoulder blades together. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. And then here we're just going to step back slightly. And then you're going to drop the hips into that plank position. Then you're going to exhale back into your downward facing dog. And then we're going to inhale. Knees down, up cat. Exhale, hips towards heels. Tuck the head in. Inhaling back into your up cat. This is really going to get the back mobilised this morning, doing all these cat cows. Beautiful. Exhale, tuck the toes, coming into your downward facing dog. Inhale as we step back into our plank. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Inhale to drop the knees, lift the chest. And then exhale, taking the hips. This time take the hips all the way back and you can just have a rest here. So you can have the hips, so the knees slightly apart if you want to, and take the head to the mat. See how you feel. And just take a few breaths here just to rest. That's quite a lot of work for the hands and the wrists. If you need to shake those out, you can. And then we're going to come onto our back. Backs. So have the feet on the floor, flat on the floor, and the knees towards the ceiling. So we're going to take a lying twist. So you're going to have so when we work laying on the floor, generally we have our eyes closed, if that's comfortable. So have the eyes closed if you can, and you're going to take your arms out to shoulder height, palms on the floor. Make sure the back of the neck is nice and long by tucking the chin. And then you can take one of two options. You can either just drop the knees to the side. Yeah, and we're going to be dropping the knees to the side on an exhale. Or you can take knees over tummy and then you're going to drop the knees to the side on the exhale from that knees over tummy position. So you choose. The second one is a bit more intense. So just take what's good for you this morning. So we're going to do 4 rounds on each side and then we're going to stay for 2 breaths on each side. So I'll guide you through. So starting from centre point, just inhaling here, not moving. And then on the exhale, you're going to drop the knees to one side. If you want to rotate the head in the opposite direction, you can. And then you're going to inhale back to centre. Exhale, drop the knees to the other side, rotate the head in the opposite direction if you want to. Inhale back to centre, okay? Exhale, the knees come down to the side. Inhale back to centre. Okay, you just work in your own time, taking a few more breaths here. So we've got 2 more rounds on each side. Last one on that side, or just making sure that you're even wherever you are in the cycle. And then come back to centre, and then we're simply going to do that again, but we're going to stay in that posture for 2 or 3 breaths. Just stay for as long as comfortable. And we'll inhale back to centre, and then drop the knees to the other side. Again, rotating the head, and just stay here for a few breaths. And then you'll inhale back to centre. Good. So if you feel like you need to just have the hands on the knees, moving the knees in and out, or if you need to just sort of do anything to the back, rocking and moving about just to even it out, then feel free to do that. If not, you're going to just come up to sitting. So you can roll yourself up or roll onto your side and push yourself up, depending on how you work this morning. So we are going to take a seated forward bend. So we're going to take like a light version. So we come up to a seated position. We always try to move up bum flesh, whatever you want to call it, out of the way. So we're sitting on our sit bones. So you'll find that it's easy to move around when we sort of make that adjustment. So we're going to take our left leg and we're going to place it over the top of the right leg. So that left foot is ideally flat on the floor. Yeah, we're just going to take this version. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this little knee as a bit of a lever. So we're going to take the right arm and we're going to place it around the left knee. And we're going to take a nice breath in. And as we breathe in, we want to think about lengthening through the spine. And then as we exhale, we're going to just gently twist towards the left. The twist starts at the base of the spine, and imagine that as you exhale and move into the twist, each vertebrae starts to twist and move. So finally, the last piece is the neck, okay? And then we're just going to stay here for 2 breaths. So on the inhale, you might just want to come out of the twist ever so slightly. Inhale, re-engage the length of the spine. And then exhale as we move deeper into the twist. Not going too deep because it's still quite early, but just finding that balance of, okay, that feels good, but it's not too deep. And then when you're ready to come out, you're just going to inhale to slowly reverse the twist, and starting from the top of the spine, shoulders, and then finally lower back onto centre. So hopefully that feels okay for you. And if it doesn't, you can just lay on the back on the mat. You can, as an alternative, if you wanted to do more lying twists, you can, but maybe just lay and have a rest for a moment would be the best option. So moving on to the other side, so taking your right foot over the left leg, and then you're going to take your left arm around your right leg. It's too early in the morning. And then you're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. The chin is in as always. You're going to place the right hand on your fingertips behind you as a support to keep that spine nice and long. And then you're going to exhale slowly, feeling into your back. As you exhale into the twist, and the last thing to twist is the neck at the end. Then you're going to inhale, see if you can come out of the twist slightly, lengthen the spine, and then exhale to move back into the twist. We're just going to stay here for a few breaths. And all the while we're engaging our tummy muscles, so don't forget about the pelvic floor and the tummy muscles as we're twisting. It's important to keep those engaged. We're going to inhale to come back out again. I'm going to just move the leg back, so there's a nice little twist for the morning. Just having the legs flat on the floor now, moving back. I'm just going to adjust myself, so you're going to come onto the mat, you're going to lay down. And then we're going to take our knees over our tummy. You're going to place your hands on your knees, fingers pointing towards your toes. The back of the neck is nice and long, so you're tucking the chin in, getting some length in the neck. And then you'll just have your eyes closed. And on the inhale, you're going to push the knees away. And then you're going to exhale to bring the knees in. Inhale to push the knees away. So you're pushing the knees away, sort of arm length, no more. And then exhale, it's more of a guiding the knees in rather than sort of forcing anything. Inhale, knees away. Exhale, gently bringing the knees towards you. So just do 3 more rounds in your own time. Nice and slow movement, long breath. Taking 1 more round. And then when you finish, dropping your feet to the floor. And then lengthening the legs out. That's not comfortable to lengthen the legs, you can just have your feet on the floor and just relax with that in that position. If you can lengthen the legs, then do so. So your feet are mat width apart. Spine is nice and straight, your arms are by your side, palms are facing up and your eyes are closed. I'm just going to be here for a few moments. So as you breathe in, if you want to, you can imagine a healing light coming into the body. I like to imagine gold or white, but whatever colour is healing for you. So as you breathe in, the light is washing through the whole of the body, bringing love, light and energy, or whatever you need into yourself today. And then as we exhale, just releasing anything that's not required anymore. So just using your own visualization skills, so just breathing the light and release on the exhale. So feel free to stay here if you're comfortable and you're warm and you just want to relax. If you need to transition, then start to move your fingers and toes. Moving your feet so they're flat on the floor, knees are to the ceiling. Just maybe having a little rock side to side. And then Transitioning, rolling onto one side, you can use your arm as a pillow. And then pushing yourself up. When you're finished, coming into a seated position, legs crossed, or you can sit on your heels, whatever's suitable for you. Okay, have the eyes closed. And again, we're going to return back to that nice long breath that we did during the asana practice. Just seeing if you can make that exhale longer than the inhale. Some people like to count the length of the breath, so that's an option if you're unsure of the breath lengths. Or you can just intuitively make that exhale longer. Putting the palms together and placing them over your sternum, over the heart area. Just bowing the head towards the heart. And then if you want to, you can offer some gratitude for today, for whatever you want really. I'm just wanting to offer some gratitude for you showing up today and for me being here too, being able to do this challenge with you and to share my knowledge, my learning on yoga. So it's such a privilege to be able to do that. So just offering the gratitude that you want to from your heart out into the world maybe, or back into, redirect it to yourself. So just to say, to finish the practice, from my heart to yours, thank you. Namaste. And then you can just gently blink the eyes open to finish the practice whenever you're ready.